Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tax in 10 with me, Rachel de Souza, and Andrew Robbins. We're both tax partners in RSM's London office and have a wealth of experience in dealing with a wide range of private client matters. Your feedback is valuable to us, so do keep it coming, especially if you have any thoughts on any topics you would like us to cover. We can be contacted at rachel.desouza@rsmuk.com and andrew.robbins@rsmuk.com.
Rachel, I have found the most brilliant way to make my fortune totally tax-free.
Really? Tell me more.
Well, I've been reading the internet and I've seen all about cryptocurrencies. Now, you may not have seen this, but I've noticed that things like Bitcoin have really gone up in value. So I've got a plan as to how I'm going to take advantage of that to get really, really rich.
Well, that sounds really good, but perhaps you better explain it to me in a little bit more detail.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to join Twitter. I'm going to get millions of followers, and then I'm going to tell them that I've invested my life savings in buying Bitcoin. That way, they'll all go out and buy Bitcoin as well, and the price will massively go up. At that point, I'm going to sell some of my Bitcoin at a huge profit, and I can swap the rest into Ethereum, and then I can repeat the process again. And then I'm off to live in the Bahamas.
Okay. Now, it has to be said, I foresee some fault lines here. Firstly, you would hate the Bahamas. But more importantly, why do you think your profits are going to be tax-free?
Well, if you remember, when cryptocurrencies first started, HMRC looked at them in the same way as gambling. And we all know that any profit you make from gambling is tax-free because, of course, the revenue you expect most people to lose. So my Bitcoin profit will be tax-free as well.
Ah, you're a little bit out of date. And that's always the problem when you're looking on the internet. Crypto is treated for tax purposes like any other asset. Consequently, when you sell your Bitcoins, the profit you make will be subject to capital gains tax. The base cost and the sale proceeds will just be the sterling equivalent, so the profit will not be tax-free at all.
Well, that's depressing. It's not totally the end of the world, though, because instead of selling my Bitcoin, I'll just swap them all for Ethereum before going to the Bahamas.
That still won't work because the swap is, of course, a disposal in itself for CGT purposes. I think what you need to do is think about each of your crypto holdings as being just like a regular share. Then each time you sell, swap, gift, dispose of in any way, there will be a disposable for tax purposes and hopefully a taxable profit will arise.
Yeah, but what you're telling me then is that if I do that, I'll end up with a big tax bill and no cash with which to pay it.
That's about right.
Well, okay, so what if I move to the Bahamas before doing anything else?
Okay, that's a better idea and that could work. But in that case, you would need to stay outside of the UK for 5 full years. And of course, that's assuming you do actually make a profit on selling your Bitcoin.
But that's no different to the usual tax position then.
No, exactly.
Well, does crypto have any advantages compared to ordinary shares?
Well, good question, but I think the short answer is not really. In some cases, there could be some advantages for non-DOMs. So, for example, if they hold their cryptocurrency via offshore structure, and this is because HMRC have now confirmed that the situs of any crypto follows the residence of the owner. So a UK res non-DOM's crypto assets will be UK situs, bringing them within the charge to inheritance tax. Whereas if that same individual held those assets through a non-UK company, then they would be outside the scope of inheritance tax.
Okay, well, I mean, that's interesting if I was a non-dom, but in my situation, you're really not helping. Fortunately, despite you trying to bring me down, I have a plan B. If I can't make my fortune on cryptocurrency, then I'm going to become a massive internet star by circulating pictures of my cats and selling those pictures for millions of pounds instead.
Oh, I see. You're going to be selling NFTs.
Probably. What's an NFT?
NFT stands for non-fungible token. And this is basically, it's a digital key or a certificate that shows that you are the exclusive owner of a digital property. I guess think of it a bit like physical art collecting. So anyone can buy a Monet print, but only one person can own the original. And with the NFT, that you're the original owner. So if the photo of your cats becomes an internet meme, you could sell the NFT for that meme. The sale of that NFT is the sale of an asset again, but it's got zero base cost because you've created it. And so the sale proceeds are pure profit, and those would be subject to CGT.
So that's even worse than crypto, because the whole sales proceeds are now taxable. You know, I'm really going off the idea of all this digital stuff. I think I'm just going to stick instead to replying to this email I've had from this Nigerian prince, because he wants to put a load of money into my bank account, and I'll do that instead.
Oh, Andrew, I give up with you. On that note, let's move on to our recommendations. Andrew, what have you got for us this week? Well,
this is a recommendation that I can genuinely encourage people to get involved in. On the BBC iPlayer at the moment, they have Bringing Up Baby, which is a film starring Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn. And apart from the fact that they are two of my absolute all-time favourite actors, Bringing Up Baby is just fantastic. It's a screwball comedy. It's very smart, very, very funny, totally silly, and just really joyful. It's the sort of thing that if you sit down, it will lift your mood. It has me crying in laughter. It's just brilliantly clever, fantastically done, and one for anybody. It really is. Bringing Up Baby on the iPlayer.
Oh, brilliant. That actually sounds one that I might be interested in. So thanks everyone for listening. Please let us have your comments and feedback. Just as a reminder, we can be contacted on rachel.souza@rsmuk.com or andrew.robbins@rsmuk.com. Bye for now.
Bye.